location to keep an eye on in 2026. Now, moving over from here, we go over to the India-Pakistan border, and we can see that these are two countries where modern Chinese and Western weapons are now going head-to-head, but in ways unlike we've ever seen before. The India and Pakistan conflict was controversial with pretty much everyone because not one single person all over the internet agreed exactly on what happened here. However, since then, more information has come to light, allowing us to better piece things together. It started in April 2025 when a major terrorist attack killed 26 tourists in India, and India accused the Pakistani government of secretly backing these terrorists, and in retaliation for the alleged support, India launched what was called Operation Sindoor on the night of May 6th. The opening phase of the operation was a wave of missile strikes against marked terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan. According to the Indian Air Force, the strikes killed 100 terrorists and destroyed multiple different training camps. However, Pakistan countered with allegations that civilian areas, including mosques, had been the real targets and that 31 civilians were killed. The Pakistani government retaliated with this massive artillery barrage against India. There were small arms fights all across the border. Drone strikes were happening at one another in ways we hadn't seen before. It was the heaviest bombardment against India in over 50 years, and it flattened hundreds of buildings and killed 17 people. Okay, so this is definitely not good. We've got two nuclear-armed countries who are in a crisis that is continuing to spiral out of control. An Indian missile even hit a Pakistani nuclear hub, and we all around the world held our collective breaths. India and Pakistan scrambled just about every fighter jet that they had available. What happened next was insane, I think. Over 125 fighter jets were in the air. The May 7th air battle was the biggest aerial engagement since World War II and the largest jet dogfight that I've ever heard of. India put their French-made Rafale fighters into service, and this is where things get feisty because this is an advanced European fighter jet. It's not a stealth jet, but it's widely regarded as one of the most agile and capable fourth-generation fighters around. The Indian Air Force had high hopes for their mission because on the other side, the Pakistani Air Force is much smaller and far less sophisticated, but the thing is, they had two secret weapons up their sleeves that India wasn't aware of. First, they had this network of advanced electronic warfare platforms that China had just delivered to them. And second, they had this new Chinese-made PL-15 missile. The PL-15 is an extreme, long-ranged, active radar-guided missile that we haven't seen in use before, and I believe this was the first time it was ever fired in anger because the PL-15 has this huge standoff range of over 200 kilometers. Even though all these aircraft and weapons are technically export models and versions, they still tell us something, I think, some insights from this battle that we can apply elsewhere because experts watched closely to see what they could learn about how Western and Chinese weapons fared against each other. As India's airstrike campaign got underway, Rafale fighters stood guard on the Indian side of the border, ready to shoot down any PAF jets that threatened to strike the aircraft. But India had underestimated Pakistan's beyond visual range fighting capabilities. The expert J-10C fighters that the PAF was flying didn't have radars with anywhere near the range to lock onto the Rafales. The Pakistani pilots had trained in this kind of air ambush techniques. Instead of getting close to the border to engage these enemy Rafale fighters, new ground-based and airborne radar operators guided these Pakistani J-10 jets just close enough to give their long-range PL-15 missiles a good chance of hitting something. So once launched, the Pakistani fighters then pulled back to safety. At the same time, the larger radar sets on the friendly radar planes relayed targeting information to those PL-15 missiles in mid-flight. Later, it came out that India said that China was providing live targeting data to Pakistan. So either way, thanks to heavy jamming and without an active radar lock, there was no warning that the missiles were on their way. And once the PL-15 Chinese-made missiles were close enough to activate their own internal radars, they go what's called pitbull, which means its own onboard radar becomes active, guiding itself to the target without any external control. At this point, it's already too late for the Indian pilots to evade them. Now, Pakistan reportedly shot down 3 Rafales that morning based on visual evidence, along with a MiG-29 and a Su-30, although others claim that it was 6 jets. Months later, confirmation of losses came from India's own military chief himself, although he didn't confirm exactly how many. This was a shock to some,
got
though.
first
Anil
Autobot
Chauhan, the chief of defense staff of the Indian Armed Forces, said, quote, "The good part is we were able to understand the tactical mistake which we made, remedy it, rectify it, and then implement it again after 2 days, and flew all our jets, again, targeting at long range." Now, everything about the conflict between India and Pakistan is hotly debated online, and people from the region are understandably very sensitive about the facts, and they get in some pretty heated debates in the comment sections. But information coming out of this region is sometimes the most difficult to confirm or deny. It's very difficult to verify through independent sources. Just a ton of disinformation and misinformation. It's not easy to untangle, and it's part of the reason why I waited until like a year later to talk about it, because you see where the dust settles. So India claims it wasn't a failure of the Rafale
Is it working,
platform or the skill of their pilots. They state that this tactic was difficult to defend against, and an Air Force has to be prepared for it at an operational level, not a tactical one. So India says that they did a lot more damage to the Pakistani military than they took. But the PAF's unexpected performance during the battle definitely shook the world's assumptions of modern air combat. This upended analysts' assumptions.
Are you able to hear me, Juspe? Please?
Are you able to hear me, Juspe? How effective the PL-15 missile could be in the Pacific against American fighters.
Literally autoplay, block audio and video.
That 2 nuclear powers could engage in an over 200 fighter aircraft battle and not resort to nuclear war. I mean, that's 100% a good thing, but it also shows us that nuclear powers are definitely capable of fighting air wars without everyone dying in a nuclear holocaust. Does this reveal to us that China and the US could have a similar air skirmish over Taiwan and not resort to full-scale war? As for the larger conflict, the fighting lasted just over 3 days, and it earned the nickname 88-Hour War. Even though the two sides agreed to a ceasefire on May 10th, the root cause of the flashpoint still exists, and small-scale skirmishes still regularly happen. And we're going to have to continue to follow that in 2026. But to put this into context, the rise of war in 2025 marks the latest in a 6-year-long continuing trend of armed conflict growing around the globe. The Institute for Economics and Peace counted at least 59 active state-based conflicts, 3 more than last year, and the most ever since the end of World War II. The Global Peace Index for 2025 once again slid down the peacefulness scale. Fewer conflicts ended in 2025 than at any point in the last 50 years. However, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge that it's not all doom and gloom. Despite the rise in global conflict in 2025, it wasn't uniformly worse everywhere. Azerbaijan recorded one of the largest improvements in peacefulness, which was capped by a formal peace agreement with Armenia that was signed on August 8th. The deal has quietly reshaped the geopolitics of the South Caucasus. At the center of the agreement is this 43-kilometer strategic transit corridor that links Armenia and Azerbaijan. Under the terms of the deal, development rights to this route are actually guaranteed to the United States for 99 years. Roughly 100 years, you guys, marking a rare long-term American foothold in this region that traditionally was dominated by Russian influence and Russian security guarantees. So Washington will sublease the corridor to companies that are tasked with building all these rail lines, oil and gas pipelines, and fiber optic cables. But this is a whole geopolitical reroute. The corridor allows people, energy, and data to flow directly from Turkey to Azerbaijan and onward to Central Asia, bypassing both Russia and Iran entirely, both of whom I can say are not happy about the agreement. The most striking regional success story, though, is South America. It was, I think, the only region in the world to improve overall in peacefulness in 2025. They're constantly avoiding world wars and conflict. It's beautiful, South America. Yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of crime. But anyway, Indonesia also had a huge increase in peacefulness, improving by nearly 3% according to their statistics, largely due to a reduction in terrorism. In the Middle East, Saudi Arabia achieved a large increase of peace, driven by a 100% reduction in deaths from internal conflict. This is just to name a few of the improvements this year as we get back to one of the places where it's getting worse. which is Myanmar. Because meanwhile, in Myanmar, a civil war continues to rage right on China's borders, and the People's Liberation Army from China might be getting more involved than ever before. As of 2025, the rebels appear to have the upper hand here. They've seized huge amounts of territory through coordinated offenses. The ruling military junta was caught off guard when the feuding rebel factions banded together, put bygones to be bygones, and attacked multiple locations together simultaneously. The military junta is at its weakest state since 2021, and conflict watchers wondered if the rebels might even be able to take Mandalay. But supply issues caught up with the overextended rebels, and several coalitions of these rebel
I think it's gonna be fine.
struggled to
Maybe I
keep up
fixed
their
it.
momentum against the military junta counteroffensives. Then there was this devastating 7.9 magnitude earthquake that hit the country. This wild CCTV footage from central Myanmar even captured the ground splitting open like it's going down into hell or something. The damage was so bad that virtually all sides of the civil war called for ceasefires to focus on disaster relief. However, it also gave the ruling junta forces some much needed time to recuperate, get their breathing space, because by May, the junta opened a new phase in the conflict with a campaign of relentless airstrikes. They correctly identified that as an actual state military, they had the edge when it came to aerial firepower. So they dropped these 500-kilogram bombs from jets, and the junta reportedly started bombing anything, villages, schools, monasteries that's suspected of harboring rebel activity. I mean, they do deny doing this, but a big part of how the junta has been able to pull off their advances recently is ironically with low tech. They've gone with paramotors. These motorized parachute gliders can carry up to like a
I hope the resolution is gonna be fine.
Pilots afloat these
Scaling
1,000
at
feet
least.
in the air, and they just
Fix the
toss
scaling.
120 mil mortar shells down like it's World War I or something. These are supplied by Russia and China like a lot of their equipment, and the junta has turned the tide of battle recently, forcing the rebels to retreat from many of the areas that they had taken the previous year. The fierce fighting is also straining relations within the rebel coalitions, so these pro-democracy resistance fighters are back to not trusting each other again. China, their
it's still doing it.
neighbor to the north, had previously avoided choosing sides. They didn't want to pick any favorites here, but that changed in 2025. And why is that? China's dominance in central markets relies on access to rare earth metals, something that Myanmar has in ample supply. So Myanmar's rich mountains provide about 11% of the world's rare earth metals. And who is their main trading partner? That's correct, you guessed it, China. 50% of China's terbium comes from Myanmar. And this is a crucial metal in military applications, but many of those mines are in rebel-held north of the country. This is where the various resistance groups have disrupted operations several times over the past year. As a result, the cost of Myanmar's metal exports have risen by over 20% on top of shipping delays. So because of all this, basically what I'm saying
is so nice. We don't even have to do it on maximum. We can just do it like on 80 or something.
Beijing recently pledged billions of dollars in aid to the military junta. China's increased their support for the junta and cut the rebels off from dual-use technologies that are important for them, like drones. But Beijing still won't directly intervene. So where it goes from ramifications for China. And here we move to Africa, where the civil war in Sudan. Instead of recapping the conflict, what I think I'm going to do is I'll stick to what stuck out to me. Because starting in January 7, 2025, the United States State Department issued a genocide determination, meaning that they concluded that the RSF members committed genocide, and the U.S. Treasury days later also sanctioned the SAF. So it's a confusing mess there, and it's absolutely terrible what's happening. There was even claims that blood was visible from space. But what stuck out to me the most was that investigations described a critical RSF logistics corridor through southeast Arabia. And basically this single airstrip that they opened was largely responsible for a lot of this violence now, because over 100 cargo flights from this enabled the RSF to regenerate their combat power and mount major operations. This included their brutal capture of El Fasher late in 2025. So what's happening is the conflict has everything from UK systems guided bombs. Situation because Fox 24 News did an investigation and found a delivery circuit of 15,000 of these Bulgarian-made military that matched video of a shipment on its way to arm RSF rebels. Basically, what that means is proof that the UAE is armed.
Okay. Don't need that one. I don't know. I guess it's okay. Yeah, what the fuck? It seems to kind of scam, I guess. Why the heck is scamming stuff? I don't know. Fuck that. Sorry. It is what it is. It is what it is. Do-do. This lot. Oh.
If you multi-stream, then you need to check out this free tool I've been using to manage everything. Because multi-streaming is honestly, which I know, and I'll leave it. If I don't like something, I until the end.
I tried to install this and it really work.
If you want to do.
Try that this one. The option. I had like, yeah, it had only one option as in it. I get it. Next. Howie, getting noted. Hey, how is the audio quality? Is it good? Bad? Bad audio? Good audio? I hope it's good. I hope. You don't have to say it. I know. Chatterino. Chatterino's client, the Twitch chat aims to be an improved experience versus Twitch web chat. It's only for Twitch, though. So my phone usually have you at 1 to 2 taps. Today I have to have 3 taps. Volume that is. Okay, so it's quiet. Is that 2 taps or 3 taps good or bad? Because I can increase it. I can stop the. It's good. So it's on tap wise, it's good because it's more. Audio wise, like quality wise, it's 1/10 lower your volume today. Like quality is fine. So quality is better than yesterday. Let's start from that. Is it better than yesterday? OBS Linux. Somebody has already done this. Look at this guy.
Hello
Yes.
everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, which we can directly import and use. So let us quickly dive into again. This functionality is provided on multiple platforms. Currently, there is no such this right here. You can see I was hovering on it. So let's see. I extract the directory. I have the folder.
Why the heck he
That is
blurred it?
So we named control. What just create it? Yes, I have it. Moment you will also you can hit it here. Configuration. Go to say but how many targets you want for again. And I want it and I when you are on this you can form file using my if and thanks for watching. See
Can we have audio a little bit higher?
you in the next. Then I have to provide the RTA. Let's be able to see. Just go to the docs tab and hit the multiple. Now for RTMP, which is of course the
Okay. I don't want to see that ever again. I think the IT multi-stream has this like has the option of the stream that chat Altium. I think it didn't work. Altium guide. Come on. I clearly have to change some settings on my VLAN side because this is not fast. It's not fast. It's more stable, but it's not fast.
If you've ever wanted to stream everywhere all at once, wasn't quite sure how to do it on all about /multi and download the OBS plugin. Once we have loaded up OBS, if you do not save your from the previous video within streaming is completely moot. There's no reason to act. Recording and back all this.
Yeah. Skip that ass.
Twitch got YouTube output, primary YouTube into that. But say for example with Twitch only having 6,000 bit, if you want to things here, like I said, you can either choose main encoder. If you're using enhanced broadcast as well, once you go live on Twitch, you are able to select the is once I have in the multi stream. So if you have any
where's the chat?
that's a quick fix. Horizontal stream outputs here, such as are built set or vertical canvas. Now, stream URL. We're going to make sure
it still doesn't have a chat in it.
Description as easy as that. Output. We're going to click on kick.
Some chat.
Dashboard. Again, advanced set. I also have a. If you're wanting to be able to view all your chats all at once, I also have a stream chat dashboard showing all the chats separately. If you actually want to have a chat overlay as well, say for Kick and Twitch, here's also my chat overlay for your stream. All you need to do is put your username in and it grabs it all for you. No logins needed at all.
Okay. Is that for chat overlay? Oh. Okay. Custom multiple chat overlay. Keep this default theme and simply copying the paste on the URL. It custom theme. Select copy custom CS in the browser source custom. If I do the chat, we'll slap it here. Oh, what the? Oh. Let me like that. YouTube is coming soon, so YouTube will customize theme, and we just copy this and post it in here. I was actually going to ask if you had a lower volume because I really noticed you were 1/10 of a lower in volume. I mean, oh my god. Okay, so that chat actually works now. Okay, so okay. Clearly we have a bot in the kick side. I have to edit and make this that people cannot do that. If that's a real person, he would say something else, but that's a bot because he's reacting like that. So chat is visible in there, but can I open this on the website as well? Can I open this on the website as well? Oh, the quick instantly goes live. Okay, fuck you. Yeah, it doesn't. I haven't. It's literally just copy paste. Yeah. How do I do this again? Channel, new tab. Fine. Oh, it's in dashboard. YOLO. I don't need that one. Supposed to be okay. Ah. Okay. I see. Channel. Chat. Stream. Want. What else he was saying? Streamer. Okay. Streamer. Surname. Let's do those ones. So that will ban those both of them. Paste. Okay. Yeah, fuck you, bot. Go back in here. Okay. So. Oh, wait. Ah, it's still there. Just haven't. Okay. Can I just Streamlabs? Okay, that's fixed. We don't use this. This is ass. Because this widget is like it shows them sure. It has lots of fade. It's a fade one. Fade in. Okay. This might be actually something that we might follow on the future. So I'm gonna put it in there. Okay. Available now. Can I just use this one? Why is YouTube is retarded? What's okay? Accept. This is clearly on a window, like design on this screen. That's kind of. I mean, I guess it's fine. Okay, okay. Upgrade stream suit. But It. It's this one. No. It's this one. No. I want this one. File. Oh, okay. But I don't think I'm able to open this one. Installation steps. Yeah, well, like, I don't know. Oh, flat. You have a fat. You're gonna do Flatpak. I don't think we have a. It's in iTunes. Yeah, it's not in here, so we're just going to do sudo. What's terminal? Gonna do this. We're gonna cook. Installation complete. Item streams wave installed on 8 manual via Flatpak file. Manual download latest release on GitHub. Flatpak install Flatpak run the following command on your terminal. You also install the plugin opens to the project from the Flatpak. I think it's already there, so we just have to restart the OBS. Okay.